When the house at the end of the cul-de-sac hasn't changed in 28 years, it's time for a front porch rehab.
First glance, this isn't too bad at all.
And you need to look a lot closer.
I've been helping homeowners improve their home for a lot of years. They think it's intimidating, but it actually can be a lot of fun.
And we're here to help. Dad's the expert, but I've learned a few things along the way.
Practical, realistic home improvement information is what today's homeowner is all about.
This house at the end of the cul-de-sac belongs to Jeff and Elise McAllister.
Tell me how long you guys have been married. I'll let you do that.
We've been married 38 years.
That's what I said, 38 years.
And we dated for 4.5, so I should have known him before I married him. But I really didn't. We moved here when our girls were 3 and 5. We love being on a cul-de-sac, and that was one of the main draws of this house. And one of the reasons is because when our girls were little, they could play on this cul-de-sac, they could climb a tree. Our grandsons do it now, and they're a heart. I mean, we had girls. We didn't know what it was like to have boys, and we are excited that they get to come as much as they can. It's just a joy to be able to watch them in the same house as our children grew up in.
We call this Camp Lollipop. She's Lolly, I'm Pop, so they get to come to Camp Lollipop pretty frequently, and we have no rules. And then we give them all the chocolate they want, and then we send them home.
His mom's not gonna be happy.
No. The thing that I'd like to change about it is it's looked the same since we moved here, basically. And only we've gotten older. So, yeah, we kind of feel like we're stuck in the 80s a little bit. The house needs a personality. It's very bland. It needs something that's warm and welcoming. So, looking for something that maybe would add a little personality that would be ours.
All right, good to see
Hey,
you. Good morning.
nice to see
Good
ya.
morning. How are you?
I'm good.
Well, we were talking about curb appeal here, but just first glance, this isn't too bad at all. Maybe a few things I see here and there.
Oh, Danny, you need to look a lot closer.
Is that right?
Yeah. We've got, the porch is just terrible with mold and mildew. You can see a lot of rot around the chair rail. It's the bushes are so high, it never really dries out.
I love the classic look of the outside of this house.
Yeah, but after they pointed out a few things here, I realized there's some work to be done here to make it look even better.
The bushes die, then you plant new ones, and then they don't match. And then every time I talk to this little one about pulling them out, I'm not pulling those plants out. So actually Jeff bought those. That's why they were way different.
Jeff, yep, gotcha.
Yeah.
Hey.
But do we
I
like
did
the bushes?
the best I could.
Not really. They're too big.
The bushes always give us some kind of divide. You feel like you're in another little tiny room because you don't get any visibility other than right over the handrail.
And I'm short. I know you can't see that.
This isn't that high that you could actually eliminate all of the handrails.
Yeah, that would
That'd
be a
be
good
awesome.
idea. That's a lot of the maintenance that's no longer there.
Exactly.
There you go. I like it. Low maintenance.
Yeah.
The other thing is the handrails. I have to turn my rocking chairs at an angle, and then it's hard to get around them. I feel like I'm trapped sometimes.
If you look at the dormers, they're in quite the state of disrepair. There's wood on the dormers that's hard to replace and hard to maintain. If we could use something that was maybe not wood, where the maintenance would be a little less frequent.
Jeff doesn't like heights, and for some reason he thinks I shouldn't.
Getting up there to do that is quite a chore for me, and
So he doesn't.
so I don't do it, obviously.
A lot of times that's just a few of the smaller pieces, and instead of replacing it with the hardboard siding that these houses, use,
Right.
we can go back with the fiber cement, it'll match, and you won't ever have to do it again.
Oh, that's
Never.
perfect.
Right, never have to do it again. So,
And what about the paint colors?
The siding's okay. I
Okay.
think it's fine. I'm kind of tired of the green shutters.
Okay.
They've been
Yeah.
there for 28 years.
Oh, it's time for a change
yeah.
then. Yeah.
We just are always afraid of changing.
Yeah. It's been the same color for 28 years.
That's what I said. They've been green for 28 years.
Okay, but the house has too. We don't want to change one thing and have to change something else.
Okay, fine.
Any kind of large project, I'm just almost scared to undertake because I never really complete it. You start
You're
things
a
and
90%er?
90%, maybe not that much.
Maybe not even that
No, he gets to 50% and says, Elise, you finish it.
Oh, there you go. Well, how's that worked out for you over the years?
Not well,
Oh, okay.
you can see.
Of course, the very first thing we can do to improve the look of the house is get it nice and clean, and Jeff's the man for that job.
After the pressure washing is complete, we return to start work.
I've been waiting to do this for a long time. Now I'll never have to trim them again.
Jeff and I start removing shrubs while Chelsea and Elise attack the handrails.
Whoop, look at there.
Then their grandsons get into the action.
Okay, you know I really have a soft spot when I see kids trying to get involved in some of the projects, but when those two boys came around that corner in that electric truck,
Okay, so you want to load everything in the back like this.
oh man, I thought that was about the cutest thing I've seen.
Getting them involved, one, was fun, but two, it creates memories for us, and three, you better get out of the way because you never know what they're going to run over. That's a big one there. There you go. Good job, big man. Good job.
Good job, Pop.
Thank you. Okie dokie.
I'm getting ready to paint this door. Before I lay it on the sawhorses, I want to protect the door so it doesn't get all scratched up. Now, you may have seen the simple solution I shot last year where you can cover the sawhorses with carpeting. Well, Tom from New York saw that and said he had a better idea, and I agree. It's using pool noodles to cover the sawhorses. You just take a pool noodle, cut it about 1 inch longer than the rail on the sawhorse, and then slit it along its length with a utility knife. Now, once it's slit like this, all you have to do is slip it over the sawhorse, just like that. The nice thing about this is it goes on really tightly. You can see it's not going to slide out of position, and it's nice and thick and soft. And of course, I have another pool noodle for this sawhorse. Slip it right out. There you go. So now with both sawhorses covered, I can set my door in place with no fear of it getting all scratched up. And at the end of the day, you can pull the pool noodles off, and you've got 2 wooden sawhorses.
Simple Solutions is brought to you by Tight Bond, the pro's advantage.
After the break,
I'm having a good time working out my frustration.
Uh-oh, you gave her a sledgehammer?
Jeff and Elise's front porch is getting a makeover. Removing the shrubs and handrails is the first big job.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how stubborn are these stumps?
They're about a 6.
Oh.
If it had been a 7, we'd be hooking a truck up to them and pulling them out, but we were able to manhandle them.
Elise, are you enjoying that?
I'm having a good time working out my frustration.
Uh-oh, you gave her a sledgehammer? What are we thinking? Giving my wife a sledgehammer and something to tear up near glass, near people.
I don't know if Elise is more excited about the handrails being gone or the fact that she gets to do the demolition. Oh, wow.
I was excited about the rail coming out, but when it started falling,
Keep it coming, ladies. Keep it
got
coming.
Yeah.
this was the best thing that had happened to us.
Does it feel like twice as big?
Already? Yeah, look at it. It's like it opened it up big time.
Well, it was easy to understand why the handrails didn't last very long because they were not treated. And they had treated wood back then.
Chelsea had this great idea. We took our feet and we just pushed it over. It was the greatest thing.
Oh, yeah, and you got your foot up high enough to
I
do that?
did. It was awesome. Well, you know, that's a long way up. Woo! It is amazing. I have a front porch. I have a big front porch.
Look how much it opened it up.
See, you didn't believe me. I've been telling you this for years. Why didn't you? I mean, look how much better it looks.
But what are we going to do with it now?
Well, hopefully something. It looks like somebody came out and pulled out a bunch of bushes and left. But I had no idea that when those rails came down, how big it was going to make our porch.
We don't want to just remove the handrails. We want to make it look like they were never here in the first place. So that means we need to sand and putty the places where the handrails were up against the columns before.
This house has an ancient intercom by the front door, and when I remove it, I find a huge hole. So I have to replace the whole piece with some of the fiber cement siding.
Just let me get you to help me slide this up in there.
On the first try. You are a professional, right?
Yeah, most of the time.
Of the 12 shutters on the front of this house, only one of them had a little wood rot.
I've tried to find a replacement shutter. You can't find one.
So Jeff doesn't want to replace them all because
It was too expensive. I'm cheap.
I see someone's done a little repair before here.
That's my engineering.
That's you?
there. Yeah. There's a lot of wood screws and a lot of glue here. I did the best I could with a little bit of ingenuity, a paint stick, and some super glue.
So we need 3 of those and 1 of these.
Yeah. We'll order that right up.
We might need to get a piece of clay and start sculpting this thing.
Since none of these pieces are standard lumber sizes, we have to cut them all down on the table saw. Fortunately, we have a brand new blade from Woodcraft. I'm using the old pieces to set the saw fence for an exact match. And matching the angles on the bottom piece is a little trickier. But once we prime the wood and put the pieces all in place, it works pretty well.
I know that you were telling me that you got a roof recently and they got the ridge venting on there. That's all good, but there's no air intake. There's nothing on the soffits that are letting that air in, because ridge vents are made that way to where, you know, you let the cooler air in below, and then the heat's going to make it rise. So I have a suggestion, something I used on my house. They're actual round aluminum vents. We can go along, put maybe 10 or 12 here, maybe 3 here, 3 on the other side. And like we do a lot of times, once we show you how to do it, you can do the rest of that.
Oh, okay.
So these should be all around the house.
Yeah, they really should be.
You got that?
Yeah.
I got that.
So I know you guys are going to do some painting. Best of luck on all of that.
Yeah.
And we'll be back in the morning.
Sounds
so
good.
You're on your own.
Okay,
All
bye-bye.
right. Bye.
I have to use a paintbrush?
If you have roofing issues like a leak, there are so many products out there on the market today to help you fix that. But I want to hit one of these right here. Now, this is a new product by Henry. And now this is an all-purpose crystal clear sealant. And it kind of gives it away in the name. It's crystal clear because it comes out clear, and when it dries, it stays absolutely clear. Why is that important? Well, you know, if you have upgraded or architectural shingles, very rarely are those just black, like the old sealants, which are fine if your roofing is black. But if you've got a nice shade of tan or brown or green, you need to have a clear sealant so that when you go and repair it, you won't be able to see it. This is a really great product because as it dries, it's not going to shrink and contract and then crack. You can apply this even when the surface is wet. So if you do have a leak, take a look at this.
This Best New Product segment is brought to you by the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Coming up,
I think the key is just taking your time, going slow.
Can I paint?
No.
at the start of day 2 on Jeff and Elisa's porch project, my job is on the roof removing that damaged siding. Chelsea uses the old pieces as a pattern to cut new pieces from the fiber cement material, so they fit perfectly when I nail them in place.
Sure is cool under here.
Better than on the roof anyway.
Who's on the roof?
Dad is up there and I'm sure, does not like it.
You know, it's tough being up on the roof, on the hot shingles, in the sun.
Yeah.
But then I realized everybody else was painting. I was fine with it.
If I've got to pick between painting and roof climbing, I'll take the painting as long as it's kind of quick and easy and I can sit on a bucket.
Jeff and Elise have this basically brand new front door, so I really hate to paint over that factory finish.
It had a little red tint to it that I wasn't expecting. And so I wasn't really sure I liked that color, and with green shutters, I almost looked like Christmas.
But we're gonna do a few other things that will help tone down the red door. Changing the color on the shutters is priority number 1. All right, what are you thinking about the shutter color?
I love it. Can you believe what a difference it's making? When we started painting the shutters gray, it was a transformation. And the door actually looks really good now.
Throw a big old wreath on it.
That's right. I need a nail, Chelsea. Jeff won't let me put a nail in.
Can't put a nail in a new door.
The tape job over here was not all that great, Mr. Jeff.
I think the tape job was outstanding. I could have not taped it for you.
I feel like I should leave.
28 years, not gonna make 29.
38, by the way.
Oh, I'm probably in trouble for a while.
Once I finish repairing the dormers, I begin drilling the holes for our soffit vents.
I want to hang this low enough where you can see it from the street, but I
Okay.
don't want it. Oh no, you got to come here.
You have to be up here so we can
But
see how tall
you're
you
the
are.
tallest member of the family.
Maybe up just a little
I
bit.
think up a little higher. Okay, you're relieved, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I did a great job.
You were great. Before, all of the plants were concentrated in one area right in front of the porch, and since we're trying to make the porch more open, we're gonna spread out our plants and create a really big flower bed.
So Chelsea puts me to work preparing the flower beds.
Okay, I think it's your turn to give it a try now, but I understand you've had some experience.
That's right. Daddy always had a garden and he always had a tiller, and he would let me help him.
Really? Well,
Now,
you're
of course,
experienced.
it's been about 30 or 40 years.
Well,
Does that matter?
You don't lose it.
Well, Daddy's tiller just kind of stood there and you had to push it. When I got behind this tiller, it like took off with me. So it was a little bit surprising, but it was fun.
Wow.
The porch floor is going to be so much more prominent. So at the beginning of day 3, I have one priority, and that is to get the stencil on the porch floor so it has time to dry. And the most important thing is that you don't have too much paint on at one time or it'll seep under and you won't have the crisp lines. Okay?
You hear that?
I hear that.
So this is a small one that goes along the edges. Put it up against the edge, roll that, and then you see these triangles. That's your registration. So you line that up to make sure that this stays nice and straight all the way across the porch.
Okay.
So I'll help you with your first roll, and then I'm gonna head out and pick out some plants.
Pretty good.
My favorite position is sitting down, so we're all good here. Uh-oh.
Well, not as good as Chelsea, but it's not bad. I think the key is just taking your time, going slow.
Can I paint?
No,
So I'm not the painter.
no.
Can you remember that for our next project? We got better as we went along.
We did.
Yeah, we're a good team.
We are most of the time. After 38 years, I figured it out.
I thought it was 28.
Yeah, well, maybe that's how many you've been married.
Oh,
Hopefully by the time Dad and I get all the plants unloaded, Jeff and Elise will be finished with the porch and we can have all hands on deck getting these plants in the ground. That makes the porch look so different. I love it. Y'all did a great job.
I love it. It was actually fun.
fun.
Of course it was fun spending time
Actually
with you.
fun.
I think I have 52 plants to put in the ground.
Oh my.
Then we'll be
Okay.
finished.
We
But
got
I'll
it.
dig all the holes.
You're digging the hole?
There you go.
Well, no, not with that. You know, it's actually somewhat of a talent to be able to find a way to sit down to do almost any project.
I love it. Work smarter, not
It
harder.
doesn't bother me at all if he's sitting down, as long as he's planting plants.
That's right. Amen to that.
I would rather auger all day long than plant plants. Painting, planting plants, finishing drywall. Hey, I'm working myself out of a job here.
Yeah, you better
Yeah.
watch it.
When in doubt, delegate it
I'm
out.
gonna send you up on the roof.
Ooh.
Apparently you like that.
Oh, no.
Jeff and Elise have a beautiful home, but its outward appearance hadn't changed since it was built in the early 80s. The shrubs had grown up in front of the porch, making it anything but welcoming, and the handrails behind the shrubs were rapidly falling apart. Not to mention the small areas of rotten wood on the shutters and the dormers above the porch. But now, the porch has a whole new, larger feel because the shrubs and the handrails are gone. The wide open porch and lower, more diversified landscaping connects them to their neighbors rather than separating them. The damaged wood is gone, and the fresh paint on the columns makes the house look young and vibrant again. The new shutter color coordinates 100 times better with the front door, and the brick stenciling on the porch floor makes the most of its increased visibility. And we did it all with just about $1,200 in materials.
I'm just amazed that I have such a big front porch. It's just awesome.
It's above and beyond my expectations.
We did talk about moving several times, but I'm so glad we didn't. We've got roots here, and we're not going anywhere.
Yeah, I like the fact that our kids grew up here. Now our grandkids are going to be able to grow up here. It kind of brings things full circle for us. We do like it here, and I plan on staying here for quite some time.
You know, you just can't underestimate what plants will do for the outside of your house, or in this case, actually removing some existing plants to prevent any separation between those on the porch and those little ones playing out in the yard. And the new plants, well, that's just icing on the cake. Hey, we had a lot of fun putting this one together, and what a fun-loving couple, Jeff and Elise, and of course, those wonderful grandkids. Thanks for joining Chelsea and me here on today's Homeowner, and we'll see you next week.
Put that up
power
for you.
tools.
Put that up. Want a box to stand on?
Yeah. Thanks, Jeff.